Hello everyone. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to be part of Connect program. I'm Dr. T. Ramesh, Assistant Professor in Physics, BVR, Hyderabad. This lecture is aimed at providing an overview of the main phenomena which determine the magnetism of matter and the properties of magnetic materials. Magnetism is an invisible force that is present in our daily life without us noticing, but that doesn't mean that we are not influenced by it. Naturally or artificially, it is present in objects that contain magnets or ferromagnetic materials, including living things. It was discovered in ancient Greece because of its presence in a mineral of natural magnetism called magnetite. One of the first applications of this mineral would be in compass for navigation, because it was discovered that the Earth acted like a large magnet and the terrestrial magnetism always pointed north. Although that was the beginning of magnetism, its application have increased, and of course, our homes are the best example of this. Since almost all the technology around us is based on its force, we can identify several devices we generally use which have magnets inside or generate magnetic fields. Among them are televisions, computers, telephones, and radios. However, this is only a sample of the world's widespread use of magnetism, as well as magnets and electromagnets not only in our homes but everywhere else. As you can see, either inside or outside the planet, the development of our life is closely linked to magnetism. So it is almost impossible to escape it. Hence, in this lecture, I am going to discuss about the fundamental concepts of magnetic materials. Before going to the topic, here I am giving the course objectives and outcomes related to the topic. The course objectives are: the graduates will be able to solve non-traditional problems that potentially draw on knowledge in multiple areas of physics, to study applications in engineering like memory devices, transformer core, and electromagnetic machinery. Coming to the course outcomes, and design, characterization, and study of properties of material help the student to prepare new materials for various engineering applications. And this course also helps the student to expose to the phenomena of electromagnetism and have also exposure on magnetic materials. Coming to the syllabus, magnetism, basic definition related to the magnetism, classification of magnetic materials, ferromagnetism and ferromagnetic materials, hysteresis and applications of magnetic materials. To create the interest on this particular topic, we start that class with interesting questions in the field of magnetism. Those are: from where do magnets obtain their energy? Magnets have either attractive energy or repulsive energy, but where it obtained to the magnets? And why can't magnetism be used as a source of energy? Is it possible to be an electrical engineer while not linking magnetism? Once again, is it possible to be an electrical engineer while not linking magnetism? How the strength of a magnet varies with respect to the temperature? Is it possible to understand the wireless communication without knowing magnetism? How the strength of a magnet depends upon the nature of the material? Is it possible to alter the magnetic properties of a material? Which parameter distinguish the magnetic materials? So out of this, these red colored questions is always interesting to the engineering point of view. Is it possible to be an electrical engineer while not linking magnetism? This is related to the both EC and EEE. And is it possible to understand the wireless communication without knowing magnetism? It is related to the both IT and CS. Coming to the history point of view, it starts around 600 BC. It is invented in the lodestone material and end with the World Wide Web and wireless communication technology. So many investigations are done in the magnetic materials point of view. And coming to the Nobel Prizes point of view, in the physicist point of view, Nobel Prize is one of the prestigious award, and out of all the years, almost this grabs 6 awards in the related to the magnetism directly, and 3 are indirectly related to the magnetism. Total 9 prizes related to the magnetism concept. That shows the importance of the magnetism for the society. Coming to the basic definitions related to the magnetism. To understand the magnetism or the magnetic properties of materials, we need to know about the basic definition that is related to the magnetic induction. So here, the magnetic induction is nothing but the number of magnetic lines passing through unit cross-sectional area gives flux density. So we may get doubt what is the magnetic lines meaning. So generally, when we take in the magnet, it has the two poles. Always, north pole is act like a positive polarity, and south pole is act like a negative polarity. And always the influencing lines like a magnetic field is released in the form of lines. It always comes from the north and it enters into the south. So how many lines passing per unit cross-sectional area, that gives the flux density. Magnetic field density, it is related to the force experienced by unit north pole placed at a particular point, that is called as magnetic field intensity. Permeability is related to the material property, that is whether it is a magnetic material or not, it depends upon the permeability only, how much it can able to allow the magnetic lines through the material, that decided by the permeability. And generally based on that, we can define that lower magnetic strength material related to the lower permeability, higher magnetic strength material related to the higher magnetic permeability. Magnetization, here the magnetization is nothing but how much magnetic moment is present per unit volume of a material is nothing but magnetization. It also termed as how many magnetic dipoles are created per unit volume is also called as magnetization. Magnetization is nothing but magnetic moment per unit volume, and units are representing like ampere per meter. And the magnetic susceptibility, susceptibility is also a material property. It decides the classification of the magnetic materials. It is nothing but the ratio of intensity of magnetization produced in the sample to the magnetic field intensity. That is nothing but how much it can able to respond with respect to the field intensity is called as susceptibility. The relation between the susceptibility and permeability is chi equivalence to mu r minus 1. Here mu r is nothing but relative permeability. Coming to the origin of magnetic moment, generally the magnetic strength of the material is measured in terms of Bohr magneton. Here the origin of magnetic moment is mainly due to the three factors. One is the orbital motion of the electron, spin motion of electrons, and the spin motion of nucleus. We know that according to the electromagnetism concept, where the current is passing through the wire, around the wire magnetic field is generated. This is a general concept. When you take in the atom point of view, atom has a nucleus. Within the nucleus, neutrons and protons are present. Around the nucleus, electrons are revolving in particular orbits. Electrons are the negative charged particles. When electrons are revolving around the nucleus, then that it means that electrons flow, it gives the current. Once the current is moving in a particular orbit, magnetism is generated. That is only one of the basic origin to create the magnetic moment in a particular material. So based on the orbital motion of the electrons, we can decide whether it is a magnetic material or the non-magnetic material. Because in case orbital motion of the electrons are involved in the particular material, that is, if any free electrons are present within the material, that can act like a magnetic material. If all are bounded electrons, there is no possibility to create the magnetic moment due to the orbital motion of the electrons. That is nothing but non-magnetic materials. Because when we compare the spin motion of the electrons, spin motion of the nucleus, then orbital motion gives more magnetic moment to the material. Next point of view, spin of electrons. Even the electrons are revolving around the nucleus. Electrons has its own spinning, that also creates the magnetic moment within the material. And spin of the nucleus, in case of nucleus, protons present, protons also has spin. That means that because of the proton spinning or the neutron spinning, magnetic moment is generated. When coming to the values point of view, this dual contribution is very, very high when we compare with the spin motion of the electron as well as spin motion of the nucleus. Coming to the classification of the magnetic materials, in nature, we are having several types of magnetic materials. Some are called as non-magnetic materials, some are called as magnetic materials. Again, magnetic materials are classified in several ways. So on what basis the magnetic materials are classified? So that are nothing but that mainly due to the how much it can able to respond with respect to the magnetic field, and depends upon the atomic dipoles and the interaction between them. For example, if any material has the permanent magnetic dipoles, that is also called as paramagnetic, ferromagnetic, antiferro, and ferrimagnetic material. If any material doesn't have permanent magnetic dipoles, that is related to the diamagnetic materials. So again, para, ferro, and antiferro and ferri is classified based on the interaction between the dipoles. So in the pictorial point of view, I am representing the classification of the magnetic materials in terms of diagram. So for example, when we take the diamagnetic materials, it can be seen clearly the magnetic lines outside is more compared to the inside. There is nothing but, so the repulsion is more when we compare with the attraction. So based on this concept, the magnetic materials, diamagnetic materials are used in the magnetic leviation effect. Here, when we take in the MH point of view, it is susceptibility of the diamagnetic material is negative. So that means that the ratio of M by H is negative. The slope is always inverse. So in case of paramagnetic materials, the magnetic lines inside is more compared to the outside, but it is very little when we compare with the ferromagnetic material. And this diagram MH curve is positive. It is always giving the straight line. But whereas in case of ferromagnetic material, it's showing the hysteresis curve. That is nothing but it shows the lagging relation between the M and H, and inside the magnetic field is very, very high because the number of magnetic lines inside is more when we compare with the outside. With the addition of these, based on this spin interaction between the atoms, then again it classified into antiferrimagnetism and ferrimagnetism. In case of antiferrimagnetism, the dipoles are always, the magnetic moments of atoms are always opposite and with equal magnitude, then the resultant magnetic moment is zero in case of antiferromagnetic materials. But whereas in case of ferrimagnetic materials, the opposite dipoles magnetic moment is not in equal magnitude. Because of that, the resultant magnetic moment is present. It almost similar to the ferromagnetic materials. Coming to the domain theory of ferromagnetism on the basis of hysteresis. Hysteresis is nothing but lagging nature of magnetization with respect to the field intensity, and this hysteresis nature is observed in case of ferromagnetic materials and ferrimagnetic materials. That is, when an external magnetic field is applied, the ferromagnetic material is magnetized. Ferro or ferrimagnetic material is magnetized by two ways. One is by motion of the domain walls, and second one is by rotation of magnetic moments in the domains. Here, initially by domains are sizes are changes, and then all the magnetic moments are aligned to a particular direction, that is magnetic field direction. So based on the area of the loop, hysteresis loop, generally within the hysteresis loop, the 3 points are important. One is the saturation magnetization, another one is the remnant magnetization, and the third one is the coercivity, and the area always gives the hysteresis loss or energy product. So based on these terms, again the magnetic materials are classified into two ways: hard magnetic materials and soft magnetic materials. In case of hard magnetic materials, the loop area is less, and at the same time MS and HC values are low, whereas in case of hard magnetic materials, the area is more, and at the same time MS and HC is also more. Because of that, energy product is more. So soft magnetic easily magnetizable and demagnetizable, whereas hard magnetic materials are not easily magnetizable and demagnetizable, and it acts like a permanent magnet, whereas soft magnetic materials are used as an electromagnet, and it is used in the transformer cores. And where example is ferrimagnetic materials are soft magnetic materials, and alloys are related to the hard magnetic materials. Coming to the applications of magnetic materials, magnetic materials are used in different fields, including medicine, chemistry, physics, and material science and engineering. So some of the applications are listed here: magnetic recording media, credit and debit and ATM cards, common televisions and computer monitors, speakers and microphones, electric motors and generator, magnetic resonance MRI scan, and magnetic leviation transport, sensors to study the structure of subatomic particles. We can estimate the proton structure or electron structure by using the magnetic magnets. That magnets are used in the accelerators to generate the high energy. And methods used to understand the concept of magnetic materials. Generally, we are using the various methods to understand the concept of magnetic materials. Especially, we are using these methods. One is preparation of various magnetic materials. That means that we are preparing both the hard and soft magnetic materials, hands-on practice for the point of hands-on practice, and then we are measuring the hysteresis measurement by using the VSM. Based on the hysteresis nature of the hard and soft, we conclude that what is the differences between the hard magnetic materials and the soft magnetic materials, and why the magnetic property is showing like this. Based on the atomic point of view, we are estimating the atomic arrangement relation with respect to the magnetic moment of the particular material. With addition of this, laboratory experiment, that is Stewart gauge experiment, is used to understand the variation of the magnetic field along the axis of a circular coil. With addition of that, we can explain Biot-Savart's law and by using the ordinary magnets and the variation of influencing on the magnet with respect to the distance of the iron nails. With addition, we are using the chart preparation. That is nothing but the chart is majorly used for the distinguish the magnetic materials and video presentations and group discussions. And based on the observations, we are going for the publications. And this is the method, general preparation methods for the magnetic materials fabrication. Thank you. Thank you for your support.